He's much, much smaller than me. He lures the children up for spider tea. He's bossy as a bumblebee. While his fingernails have all turned black. His nose is like an old smokestack. Steam leaves his ears, and when the smoke clears, you'll see that you can't go back. Well, he says his name is Jack Beevil. His voice is as screechy as a weasel. He'll sew you up to the wall in a long dark hall. He's got a bunch of kids sewn to an easel. At least 100 kids sewn to an easel. Sewing machine. He sews the kids together, and his teeth are green. You can't scratch an itch, your eye can barely twitch. He's a mean old man with a sewing machine. Well, the parents tell the kids, don't go in the woods. There's a scary, scary man who isn't good. Little Mary didn't listen as hard as she could. Now she's sewn to the wall in a hood. She's got a brother with a hook for an arm from an accident that happened on the farm. His name is Ben. He doesn't have any friends. All the children made fun of his arm. Little Ben scratched his itch with his hook and got an idea while reading a book. He welded scissors to his hook where his hand used to be and said, I'll search for my sister down by the brook. Ben climbed into a hole in the ground. It was cold and so far down. It was dark and hard to see, but he screamed for Mary and kept going down, down, down. When he got to the bottom of the cave, he felt like he was in a big grave. There were kids sewn to the walls, down all the holes that he knew he had to save. He cut the children down just like he was a crook, using the scissors at the end of his hook. And as the kids broke free, they were screaming with glee, saying, Ben, you are the man. Jack Beevil was as angry as a snake, and he jumped out of a big black cake. He grabbed Ben by his coat, and with his hands around his throat, his evil body started to shake. Jack Beevil fell to the ground, and his tears fell all around. He said, I'm sorry I kept you here. I was lonely and without cheer, and no one talks to me in this town. Jack Beevil sits alone in his cell, but when they ring the jailhouse bell, little Ben will come to see him, even though they'll never free him. He's making friends, mending clothes from his cell. He makes amends, mending clothes from his cell. Sewing machine sews clothes for the kids, and his teeth are green. You can't scratch an itch, your eye can barely twitch. He's a lonely old man with a sewing machine. He's making new friends with a sewing machine.